Ladies and gentlemen, success is not an accident. It's not a lottery ticket. Success is a system. And at the foundation of that system is discipline. Without discipline, dreams stay dreams. But with discipline, dreams become reality. Let me tell you something most people won't see. Discipline begins with a clear and compelling vision, because without vision, discipline has no direction. Most people fail to stay consistent not because they lack willpower, but because they lack a reason strong enough to keep them moving when the initial excitement fades. When you have a vision that excites you, scares you, and pulls you forward, discipline no longer feels like a punishment. It becomes a privilege. A clear vision creates clarity, and clarity creates focus. As it helps us, when you know where you're going, you stop entertaining distractions that don't align with your destination. Vision acts like a filter that helps you decide what deserves your attention and what doesn't. When people wake up every morning without a vision, they drift into habits that waste their time and energy because there's no internal compass to guide their decisions. Discipline flows naturally when you are emotionally connected to a picture of your future that feels real, tangible, and worth fighting for. A compelling vision answers the questions: why am I doing this? What will my life look like if I succeed? Who else will benefit from my discipline? It's not enough to say you want to be wealthy, healthy, or successful. Those are vague desires. Your mind needs specifics. Paint the picture in detail. What does success look like for you? What will you see, hear, and feel when you get there? The clearer the picture, the stronger the pull. If the vision doesn't ignite a fire in your soul, it won't carry you through the days when motivation runs dry. That's why some people never build discipline as it helps us. They're trying to force themselves to act on goals they're not emotionally invested in. When your vision is strong enough, discipline stops being a struggle and starts becoming a strategy. You no longer ask, do I feel like doing this today? You already know the answer because your vision demands it. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself to do hard things. It's about aligning your daily actions with the future you want so badly that you're willing to sacrifice comfort for it. A compelling vision makes sacrifice feel like progress instead of punishment. Discipline tied to a weak or shallow vision will always break under pressure. That's why people set resolutions every year and abandon them by February. The vision wasn't clear and the desire wasn't deep. But when your vision is crystal clear, you begin to prioritize differently. You start saying no to things that once seemed urgent because they don't serve the bigger picture. Vision simplifies your life because it gives meaning to the word no. Without vision, every distraction feels like an opportunity, and every opportunity feels like an obligation. With vision, you stop chasing everything and start building something. To build discipline, you must keep your vision in front of you daily. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Visualize it in the morning before you start your day and at night before you go to bed. The more you engage with your vision, the more it shapes your identity. And once your identity changes, discipline becomes automatic. You're no longer trying to act disciplined. You've become the kind of person who lives in alignment with your vision. Discipline is not built on emotions. It is built on decisions. The problem with most people is they wait until they feel ready, inspired, or motivated to act, but feelings are unreliable. One day you wake up energized and full of drive, and the next you feel tired, distracted, and unmotivated. If your discipline is dependent on how you feel, you will never develop the consistency required for success. Discipline begins the moment you decide that you are no longer going to negotiate with your feelings. It is a decision you make once and then honor every single day, regardless of whether you feel like it or not. The most successful people are not the ones who have the most motivation. They are the ones who have the most commitment. They make a decision and then arrange their lives around that decision. They do not keep revisiting the question every morning of whether or not they will act. They have already decided, and that decision has become non-negotiable. It is the same principle you see in people who have mastered one area of their life. The person who decides to wake up early every morning does not argue with the alarm clock. The person who decides to go to the gym does not ask themselves if they are in the mood to exercise. The decision has been made and the action follows. Feelings will betray you because they are influenced by your circumstances, your environment, and even your physical state. If you rely on feelings, you will quit the moment things get uncomfortable or inconvenient. Decision cuts through all of that. When you decide, you eliminate the option to quit. You burn the boats, and quitting is no longer on the table. That level of commitment creates the space for discipline to grow. The reason so many people start and stop is because they keep making the same decision over and over again. They commit today, but tomorrow they reconsider. That constant renegotiation erodes discipline and weakens resolve. But when you make a decision once and for all, you conserve energy and mental bandwidth. You are no longer wasting time debating with yourself. Your mind is clear because your course has already been set. Discipline also requires that you attach deep meaning to your decision. If your decision is shallow or rooted in surface level goals, it will crumble under pressure. You need a reason that is bigger than your excuses. A reason that pulls you through fatigue, doubt, and obstacles. The decision to fully comes alive when you connect it to something that matters deeply to you. This connection turns discipline from a burden into a mission. Another key to strengthening your decision is to anticipate the moments when your feelings will try to sabotage you. Expect resistance, expect doubt, expect fatigue. If you prepare for these moments in advance, you will not be caught off guard. You can create rules for yourself that make action automatic. For example, if you decide that you are going to write for an hour every morning, there is no room for debate. You wake up and you write, whether you feel creative or not. If you decide that you are going to invest a percentage of your income, helps. You do it automatically without asking yourself if you can afford it this month. These pre-decisions eliminate the power of feelings to derail you. Discipline grows stronger every time you honor your commitment in the face of resistance. As every time you act in alignment with your decision, you prove to yourself that you are capable of doing what you said you would do. This builds self-trust and confidence, which reinforces the habit of discipline even more. ChatGPT said discipline is not created through occasional bursts of effort, but through small, consistent habits that build momentum over time. Most people overestimate what can achieve in a day and underestimate what they can achieve in a year of steady, deliberate action. The idea of massive change can feel overwhelming, and that's why so many people never begin. They think they have to take giant leaps, when in reality success is built one small step at a time. Each small action, repeated consistently, compounds into results that seem impossible to achieve at first. Consistency is the secret that separates those who succeed from those who quit. As it helps us, the disciplined person understands that success is not about intensity alone, it is about longevity. It is easy to act with intensity for a few days or weeks, but true discipline is measured by your ability to show up every single day, even when progress feels invisible. Success often hides in the days when it looks like nothing is happening, and this is where most people give up. They plant seeds, but fail to water them long enough to see the harvest. Small habits seem insignificant in the moment, but they are the building blocks of your future. Waking up 30 minutes earlier, reading a few pages of a book, making one additional phone call, or saving a small percentage of your income may not feel life-changing at first, but done consistently over months and years, these actions will transform your results. Momentum begins with movement, no matter how small. Once you start, the act of showing up daily creates a sense of identity. You are no longer just trying to do something. You are becoming the kind of person who lives in alignment with your vision. The power of consistency lies in its compounding effect. Just as money grows with compound interest, your habits compound to create exponential growth in your life. A small action done once makes little difference, but that same action repeated every day gains power over time. Missing one day may seem harmless, but repeated lapses break momentum and make it harder to return. That is why disciplined people protect their consistency at all costs. They understand that it is easier to stay in motion than to restart after stopping. Habits also create structure, and structure eliminates decision fatigue. When you commit to small, consistent actions, you no longer waste energy wondering what to do next. Your habits create a rhythm that carries you forward, even on days when motivation is absent. Instead of relying on willpower, you rely on systems. These systems make discipline automatic because they embed the actions into your daily life until they become second nature. Discipline grows stronger as you honor these habits day after day. At first, it may feel mechanical or even forced, but over time, the process becomes part of your identity. You no longer think about whether or not to act. You simply act because that is who you are. This shift from effort to identity is where true discipline is born. Small, consistent habits develop internal momentum that carries you forward with increasing ease. Most people are looking for breakthroughs, but breakthroughs are the result of daily follow-through. The person who writes a book didn't write it all in one sitting. They wrote a few hundred words every day until the pages added up. The person who built wealth didn't do it overnight. They invested steadily and let time do the heavy lifting. Consistency may not be glamorous, but it is the force that creates extraordinary results in any area of life. As it's us, your environment has the power to either strengthen your discipline or sabotage it completely. Many people try to build discipline in an environment designed for distraction, and then they wonder why they keep failing. The truth is, as it helps us, your surroundings shape your behaviors more than you realize. If you are constantly exposed to temptations, interruptions, and negativity, even the strongest willpower will eventually break. Discipline is not just about resisting the wrong things. It is about designing an environment that makes the right things easy and the wrong things difficult. One of the first steps to mastering your environment is to eliminate distractions. Every time you are pulled away from your focus, it takes mental energy to return. These small interruptions may feel harmless, but they weaken your ability to stay consistent. If your phone is constantly buzzing, if notifications are demanding your attention, or if you are surrounded by clutter, your mind is fighting an uphill battle. Discipline grows in an environment where focus is protected. This means turning off notifications, creating a clean workspace, and setting clear boundaries with the people around you. When you design your environment with intention, you reduce the number of decisions you have to make and preserve your mental energy for the things that matter. Accountability is another key part of mastering your environment. Lone wolves struggle because there is no one to hold them to a higher standard. When you are accountable to someone else, you are less likely to quit when things get hard. This could be a mentor, a coach, a friend, or even a group of like-minded people who are pursuing the same goals. The right people in your environment can push you, challenge you, and remind you of your commitments when you feel like giving up. At the same time as it helps us, the wrong people will drag you back into old habits and discourage you from rising higher. If you want to strengthen your discipline, you must surround yourself with people who call out the best in you. Your environment also includes the systems and routines you put in place to support your goals. Systems are not restrictive. They are liberating because they remove the need for constant willpower. For example, if you are trying to eat healthier, don't rely on resisting junk food when it's in front of you. Instead, remove it from your home completely and stock your kitchen with nutritious options. If you want to work out consistently, set out your clothes and shoes the night before so there are no obstacles in the morning. These small adjustments in your environment reduce friction and make it easier to follow through. Another aspect of mastering your environment is being intentional about the information you consume. The content you allow into your mind shapes your thoughts, and your thoughts shape your actions. If you are constantly feeding your mind with negativity, fear, or entertainment that numbs you, discipline becomes harder to sustain. Instead, fill your environment with content that inspires, educates, and reinforces the person you want to become. The books you read, the podcasts you listen to, and even the social media accounts you follow all contribute to the atmosphere you are creating around yourself. Mastering your environment is about setting yourself up to win. When you are intentional about what you allow in and what you keep out, discipline stops being a constant struggle and starts becoming the natural flow of your life. Instead of relying on force and willpower, you are creating a world around you that supports your growth and success. Most people focus all their energy on setting big goals, but they fail because they never create the systems that will carry them there. Goals give you direction, but systems determine your progress. A goal is the destination, while a system is the vehicle that gets you there. Without systems, even the most ambitious goals remain wishful thinking. Discipline grows when your focus shifts from obsessing over the outcome to committing to the process. When you build the right systems, success becomes inevitable because you've designed your life to align with the result you desire. Systems create structure, and structure removes the need for constant decision-making. Every time you have to decide whether to take action, you open the door to hesitation, procrastination, and excuses. Systems close that door by making the action automatic. For example, instead of setting a goal to get fit, build a system of exercising at the same time every morning, preparing meals in advance, and tracking your progress daily. This system doesn't depend on how motivated you feel because it's built into your routine. The disciplined person does not rely on willpower. They rely on systems that guide their behavior in the right direction. Focusing only on goals can also create frustration because progress often feels slow. You can control your actions, but you cannot always control when the results will show up. Systems keep you engaged and consistent because they allow you to measure success by whether or not you followed the process, not whether the outcome has arrived yet. When you stick to the system, results will eventually follow. Success is not a single event, but the result of countless small actions stacked on top of each other over time. Building effective systems also means identifying the bottlenecks and obstacles that keep pulling you off track. Look at the areas of your life where discipline breaks down and ask yourself what systems could prevent that failure. If you constantly skip your morning routine because you stay up too late, the system you need to build starts the night before with a strict bedtime and a wind down ritual. If you struggle to save money, create a system that automatically moves a percentage of your income into a separate account before you even see it. Systems are proactive solutions that eliminate the need for discipline to feel like a daily battle. Another powerful aspect of systems is that they create feedback loops that help you adjust and improve over time. When you have a system in place, you can track your behavior, measure your consistency, and identify patterns. This awareness allows you to refine your approach instead of giving up when things don't go perfectly. A disciplined person doesn't expect perfection. They expect progress, and they design systems that make progress inevitable. Systems also help you overcome the emotional highs and lows that often derail people who rely solely on motivation. There will be days when you feel unstoppable and days when you feel tired, uninspired, or even defeated. Systems act as guardrails that keep you moving forward no matter how you feel in the moment. They provide stability in the chaos and keep you anchored to your vision even when life tries to pull you off course. Focusing on systems instead of goals changes your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is chasing a result and start seeing yourself as someone who lives in alignment with their values every single day. This shift in identity strengthens your discipline because it's no longer about trying harder, as it helps us, about becoming the type of person for whom success is the natural outcome of the systems they have built into their life. Discipline requires making a choice between short-term comfort and long-term fulfillment. Every day you are faced with the decision to either do what is easy now or what will produce results later. Choosing discipline may feel hard in the moment because it demands sacrifice, effort, and consistency, but choosing comfort leads to a different kind of difficulty that shows up as regret, missed opportunities, and unfulfilled potential. The truth is that both paths are hard, but only one leads to the life you truly desire. Discipline is the price you pay upfront for success, while regret is the price you pay later for avoiding that work. Regret is heavier than discipline because it lingers and grows over time. Discipline asks for effort now so you can enjoy the rewards later. Regret takes away your peace, leaving you to wonder what your life could have been if you had stayed committed. The disciplined person understands that pain is unavoidable in life, but they choose the pain that produces growth instead of the pain that comes from staying stagnant. Every action you take or avoid is a vote for the future you are creating. When you understand that your future self is either going to thank you or resent you for the choices you are making today, discipline stops feeling like a punishment and starts feeling like an investment. Then choosing discipline now is about understanding the value of delayed gratification. The easy choice gives you temporary relief, but the hard choice gives you permanent rewards. This is why so many people struggle to break free from cycles of mediocrity. They want the results without enduring the process. They want the benefits of discipline without the discomfort it requires. Success demands that you think beyond how you feel today and focus on the kind of life you want to create for yourself tomorrow. The person you become as a result of staying disciplined is worth infinitely more than the fleeting satisfaction of avoiding effort. Every time you honor your commitments and act with discipline, you are proving to yourself that you have the ability to rise above impulse and emotion. You are strengthening your willpower like a muscle. At first, it may feel unnatural and even exhausting, but over time, it becomes part of who you are. Discipline stops being something you do and becomes the way you live. When you choose discipline repeatedly, you are programming your subconscious mind to accept that success is non-negotiable. The path of least resistance is always available, but it leads nowhere worth going. Choosing discipline requires courage because it means rejecting comfort and embracing challenges that stretch you. The challenges are where growth happens, where character is forged, and where breakthroughs are born. Discipline is not glamorous, and it is rarely applauded in the early stages, but it lays the foundation for results that speak for themselves later. The person who avoids discipline may enjoy comfort in the moment, but they pay the price later when opportunities slip through their fingers and dreams remain unrealized. The cost of discipline is temporary. The cost of regret is permanent. When you push through resistance and stick to your commitments, you create a future that rewards your effort. When you avoid discipline and chase comfort, you create a future that punishes your avoidance. The choice is always yours. Every decision you make to act with discipline moves you closer to the life you were meant to live. Every decision you make to avoid discipline pushes that life further out of reach.